Welcome back, everyone. We're going to be solving LeetCode 917, reverse only letters. So we're given a string called S, and we want to reverse the string according to the following rules. All the characters that are not English letters remain in the same position, and all the English letters consisting of lowercase or uppercase should be reversed. So return S after reversing it. So let's take a look at our examples. We have AB-CD should become DC-BA. Okay, so it looks like we could use 2 pointers to solve this. And, well, we know strings are immutable, so first let's create an array of the individual characters within our string. So we'll say character for character in S, right? That'll give us our array. Now, what do we need to do? Well, we want to have a left pointer and a right pointer, and it looks like we can just swap, right? If we start our left at the beginning of our string and right at the end, we could just swap the two, right? D goes to the front, A goes to the end. Decrement our pointers. Swap, C goes to the second position, B goes to the second from the last, and then our dash stays in place. So, okay, let's do that. Let's try that first. We'll say left is equal to 0, right is equal to the length of our string minus 1 to grab that last index position. And now we want to swap them. Well, we can do that using a while loop. Let's say while right is greater than left. What are we going to do? We need to swap them, but we need to only swap them if they are English letters, lowercase or uppercase. So let's say, what do we want to say? While right is greater than left, we can say if array at position left is not in, ASCII letters. What do we do? Well, we can just, right, so this is saying if it's not an English character, uppercase or lowercase. So if we run into a dash, what are we going to do? If it's our left pointer, we just want to increment it by 1. So we can say left plus equals 1. We'll do the exact same thing for the right pointer, except we'll be decrementing it. Not in ASCII letters, we will say right minus equals 1. Now, that takes care of the case where it's not an English letter. So what are we going to do when we run into an English letter? Well, we're just going to swap the characters at the left and right positions. So we can do that by saying array of left, comma, array of right is now going to be equal to array of right, comma, array of left. And then after we swap, we still need to update our pointers. Left gets incremented by 1, right will be decremented by 1. And then at the end, we are going to, what are we returning? We need to return a string. Yeah, so we're returning a string, so that means what we've done is swap all of our characters inside of our array. So to return a string, we can just return a string join of our array, and that should give us the answer. And we do pass all 3 test cases. Let's hit submit and see what happens. Okay, so we do pass. Now, what are the time and space complexities for what we just wrote? Well, time complexity is, we're looping through our array with this while loop, so this is going to be O of n. Well, let's look at this. Normally, not in is going to have some like an O of n like runtime, but because this is always going to be constant, it's going to be O of 1 in this case, so our runtime is going the alphabet has 6 characters in it. So, 26 times 2 for upper and lowercase characters, always going to remain constant. So like I said, this simplifies down to O of 1, and this will stay at O of n for our entire loop. And this right here is also O of n, right? We've got a for loop looping through our string and putting those characters in an array. So time complexity is just going to be O of n. Space complexity. Well, we are creating a new array, and it is going to be O of this right here will be the length of s. So we'll say s dot length. These are constant. We're just defining integers. And what else? We are not returning anything else until the end here. And then this array, we're just returning a string join, so creating a new string, which is still going to be the length of our array. So I want to say the space complexity is going to be O of our array.length. All right, that'll do it for LeetCode 917, reverse only letters.